Hey, what is going on, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Rayge, and we are back today to break down Songbird, being the second member of the Thunderbolt team, joining Marvel Strike Force now. So in today's video, we're going to be taking a look at her overall kit, and as well as break down what the preemptive upgrades could potentially be for obviously elevating her abilities. But remember, she's going to be playing a very important part as the damage dealer on this team, especially with Thunderbolts being the current and newest bio raid team, especially needed every single day for the aspects of the chaotic storm. So make sure you guys take advantage. Remember, during this time as well, there's a limited promotional period of red stars that we can take advantage of. So having that extra boost there to get the red stars is nice. Obviously, once it gets added into the main store, it takes a little bit longer to get that. So make sure you take advantage of that. Without further ado, let's take a look at her kit, and then we'll also take a look at preemptively as well what potential ISO-8 is going to be utilized for her in these situations for the raid dynamic. Basic ability is Deafening Scream, and then attacking the primary target for percentage damage. Now, the reason I'm tapping on this is because I noted last time all the text doesn't actually populate, so now we have to tap into it to see the additional details that you want to be mindful of. So basic ability, additional damage getting ramped up as we upgrade this ability up. You can see though, however, there's also going to be the clearing of positive effects on the primary target in addition to the clearing of negative effects on herself. The T4 upgrade on the basic ability is definitely a luxury, but clearing 2 positives on a primary target and as well as clearing 2 negatives on herself, this is a huge boost here. So for that reason, not usually jumping the gun here upgrading the basics, but this is a very strong basic already on top of the additional damage boost. Having said that, if you are limited on the T4 materials right now in your resource management, let's take a look at the special, ultimate, and passive before we jump the gun here. But overall, this is a pretty strong basic ability. Special is called Sonic Screech. So you can see she's going to be attacking primary and adjacent targets with this damage, so more of an area effect ability here. But if she does actually have 2 or more Thunderbolt allies, she's going to be reducing the duration of defense up by 2 turns for the primary and adjacent targets. In raids, on top of that, she's also adding a defensive component, which is defense up for her team to ensure that they have some additional damage mitigation for that. So we'll level this ability up. Damage is going to get added up. You can see there's going to be a component of Safeguard actually also getting added for 2 full turns to herself and the Thunderbolt allies. The reduction of speed bar for the primary and secondary targets being impacted. This ability also clears barrier on all enemies. So even though this is meant for an offensive component here with defensive capabilities, the barrier is going to be able to allow the team to have some additional damage output because of that cleansing. And then if she also has 2 or more Thunderbolt allies, she also even applies defense down. And then lastly, with the T4 upgrade here, she's going to be applying speed up for 2 turns for herself and Thunderbolt. This is a huge special ability that does really a little bit of everything here. So highly recommend, guys. The speed up is going to give your team additional turn meter, which is the name of the game in Marvel Strike Force. So you definitely want to utilize this at the utmost. But everything else, reduction in speed bar, safeguard, defense down, defense up. This ability just does a little bit of everything, honestly. Vicious area. Or Araya, however you say that. Attacking all enemies for percentage damage, as you can see, but on top of that, she's also going to be applying offense down, which once again reduces the damage being dealt by enemy opponents here, and also additional focus. Same thing that we saw with the special. This is pretty massive. In raids, however, this attack also cannot be dodged, so additional damage getting applied to enemies. She's going to be flipping all the positives into negatives on all enemies. She's going to be reducing the speed bar once again for all enemies without any positive effects, and as well even applying trauma on the enemy opponents here. Absolutely massive here, guys. Lastly, T4 upgrade is going to allow the offense down for lasting 2 full turns on top of trauma lasting for 2 full turns. I mean, this is a must upgrade. You have to do the special and the ultimate to make sure that she's going to get maximal value for her abilities. Definitely are huge impact to the team. I would even argue that she could very well be the most important member of this Thunderbolts team. So definitely the special and ultimate needs to be considered. And then lastly, the acousticness or acoustikinesis is her passive ability here. I think that's how you say it. On turn, applying deflect up to maximum 3 times to herself and Thunderbolt. In raids, Thunderbolt allies also gain additional focus, which means it's nice that we probably wouldn't need a skirmisher here with this additional focus that she's providing, right? Additional crit damage here being provided. Allies also gaining additional crit damage and crit chance. You can see here additional damage being applied as well. Deflects are also going to be applied on each turn up to a maximum of 3 times. So additional protection as needed. Additional crit chance once again. And then with the T4 upgrade here, this character and all Thunderbolt allies cannot gain ability block or trauma until this character takes a turn. So it's really important that this ability is upgraded because it's going to prevent any of those conditions being placed until obviously having her actually take a turn here, which is pretty massive, guys. And let's take a look at her turn meters. Sorry, her speed as well, just to see where that's going to rank up in the 132. So it is actually quite a quick speed here for a character, which means she'll probably get the turn quite frequently. The thing she's going to be able to prevent is any enemy that has that turn meter or any kind of trauma infliction right at the get-go. So pretty massive, guys, especially in the raid setting. I love the fact that a lot of her abilities actually also apply outside of raid, which is nice, right? So you can see this one here with the ability block and trauma. It doesn't necessarily just apply in raids, which is massive for the team to have some sort of usage outside of that game mode, even in war. I could definitely see some value in Cosmic Crucible. So for sure, guys. Having said that, I think there's going to be a couple things you can do with her from an ISO-8 perspective. But for sure, special ultimate passive, I would definitely upgrade to the max. And then really the basic ability, like I said, that cleansing and the clearing of pauses is pretty massive. But again, it's a luxury that doesn't necessarily make or break her kit. As for ISO-8, guys, it really looks like she's going to be doing a little bit of everything, but you want to maximize her damage output. So a couple things you can do. If you do plan to use the Striker ISO-8 on her, she's going to be able to get her abilities off more frequently with the additional strike. So this obviously would have more chances to clear positives and as well as cleansing herself. So that's really more for herself, right, for the Striker standpoint. To maximize her damage output, though, I think I'm probably going to slot her in as a Raider ISO-8 because both her special and ultimate do mass damage across the board, and you want to maximize that output with additional crit chance and critical hit damage as well. So that's probably what the route I'm going to be going about. So let me know what you guys think, though. Hopefully as well you guys can take advantage. To be honest, I don't know if I'm coring just yet. I haven't cored for Victoria Hand yet either, but obviously that's been kind of the name of the game of the power cores, right? And the reason being is because I'm not exactly stricken right now in the bio nodes for the Chaotic Storm raids, and they've been doing a really good job with releasing character shards. More notably, if you take a look at obviously the Harbinger Hit Monkey event that's ongoing right now. And then last week we also had Silver Sable. So this has been a really good trend overall if we're patient about it. And like I said, I'm not exactly stuck in Bile right now because we have a good strategy overall for our alliance. So that's kind of the route I'm going in my 2 cents. But if I do use power cores though, guys, you bet I'm going to be making sure to obviously make a video on that and document it for you guys too to see how we do. But yeah, good luck, guys, if you are using cores. Thank you for your time as always, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.